In June 2026, something unbelievable happened in world football. A country with just over 500,000 people, the smallest nation ever to appear in a men's FIFA World Cup, walked onto the biggest stage on Earth and refused to be intimidated. This is Cabo Verde, known as the Blue Sharks. They didn't come to participate. They came to make history, unbeaten in the group stage, against giants like Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. The world watched in disbelief. But this miracle didn't begin on the pitch. It began far out in the Atlantic Ocean. Welcome to Cabo Verde. You cannot tell this story without one man, Josimar Dias. The world knows him as Vozinha. At 40 years old, when most players are thinking about retirement, Vozinha stood between the posts like a wall. 8 saves against Spain alone. Calm, focused, unshaken. In a single night, he went from a respected veteran to a global symbol of resilience. Millions followed him overnight. But in Cabo Verde, he represents something deeper. Experience over hype, patience over panic, belief over fear. The same values that shaped these islands. Cabo Verde's World Cup dream ended in the round of 32, but not without one final statement. Against defending champions Argentina, they refused to back down. Twice they fought back, pushing one of football's greatest teams to the limit in a thrilling 3-2 defeat. They may be out of the World Cup, but they leave with their heads held high. Cabo Verde didn't just make history. They proved that on football's biggest stage, belief and courage can make even the smallest nation impossible to ignore. Cabo Verde is not one landscape. It is many worlds stitched together. 10 volcanic islands floating nearly 600 kilometers off the West African coast. In the north, the land feels almost unreal. Sal and Boa Vista, vast white dunes, desert-like plains, turquoise water, and constant Atlantic winds. This is where the ocean never sleeps, where wind and sand shape everything. But move south, and the story changes. Santo Antão rises sharply from the sea, green valleys carved by ancient lava flows. And then there is Fogo, an active volcano, a mountain that dominates the horizon. Pico do Fogo rises more than 2,800 meters straight from the Atlantic, a reminder that this nation was born from fire. From lunar landscapes to fertile terraces, Cabo Verde is a living geology lesson. But geography alone doesn't explain the magic. To understand Cabo Verde, you need to feel something called morabeza. It doesn't translate cleanly. It's warmth without urgency, hospitality without performance, a quiet openness that makes strangers feel like they belong. In the streets of Mindelo and Praia, music spills out of doorways. Markets move at their own pace. Fish is grilled fresh, conversations linger, time slows down. Portuguese may be the official language, but on the streets, Crioulo rules. A living blend of African rhythm and European history, just like the islands themselves. And then there is the food, because no story here is complete without it. Cachupa, a slow-cooked stew of corn, beans, and meat or fish. Simple ingredients. Long hours. This isn't fast food, it's patience in a bowl. And when the sun sets, someone will pour grog, a strong sugarcane spirit from Santo Antão. Raw, authentic, unapologetic, just like Cabo Verde. So what does this place teach us? That size does not determine impact. That isolation can create identity. That resilience grows quietly until one day the world notices. Cabo Verde didn't just surprise football fans. It reminded us that greatness often comes from the edges of the map. Whether you came here for the blue sharks, or for volcanic mountains rising from the sea, or for a culture that values humanity over speed, this is a place that changes how you see the world. Thank you for traveling with Kuknalim Virtual Earthscape. If you want more stories where geography, culture, and human spirit collide, subscribe, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next journey.